Tuong fan jai tang nip on geo versus CEO thang deep, status ko the mua dan, and hung chi kindness mua duok long tin. Ban muon tua trian outline nai ton ban kitch ban cinematic day do 5.0006.0002 Theo Fong catch voiceover dying on my Loan Kong? User nak lai ky thut viet dan cho dang for jia han nan quan he hop dong fake real. Lui cho du kak tai lu duok training nu the now di chang nua, tmo dao fan wan loan la one. Nak lai tu to tuong tok kyo. Hello everyone, before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Veo dien bien ka trien gay ma. Hey Zach Nan. Assistant Zach Nan doi voi dang for jia han nan quan he hop dong fake real. Qui tak ky thut viet phi tuan Thursday chuan cinematic drama YouTube, bao gom fan imo dao bat byuk va bo ky thut han van dac Thursday, nu sao k thut vit chun dng for fake real 1 mubtbuc fan 1 wa tap phim thuok dang for du imo dao y het song tuk sao, bat ku noi dung hey training script truok du. Hello everyone, before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It's quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Sao loi chao nai lap tuc trian sang dien bien gay ta ma, thuong la mot han dong hok loi thoi hook man, marry me think of it as a contract. Hok mot kung kan cam suk chao du band song, mua, fong koi, vv muk tu gai con gia veo ku soc dao tien chi trong 1015 ga. 2 cutrc 9 phnchun theo, dang 4.txt, b1. Cold open loi de gi gia han nan hook nai ka dao. b2. Stakes ka nan ca hi vly du riang phi ky hop dong. b3. Du koan ran gioi 35 qui tak no love, no intimacy. b4. Montage jai don gia vio song chung, ka chep hoa rong. b5. By test song kai mot su kin noi ko chung min pham chat that. b6. Trey tim dike chien kan tin, confessional, hok tun thuang chung. b7. Kudan antagonist nua ucu, ko dong vok tran hok fan boi. b8. Grand gesture nam chin sua site song kai, hi sin gwin luke, b9. Resolution ka hondam koi that, payoff dao siu nan, hop dong, on. 3 jing vien fong chi kain goi Thursday ba, ti hien tai. Nip cinematic zen thoi cat can cam suk noi tom. Jong kuam, cham, ko trung em cam suk, ka non, nuot vok de tau nip thoi tunin. Emo bang emo ta hin on, sao du la dialogue cutin rain dripped from the balcony. He turned, eyes cold. Marry me, he said. She laughed then realized he wasn't joking. For th vape ctli plant payoff dao sius at hien dao trao koi nan, hop dong, on, jia qua, tuong fan jai tang ben dan versus sion geo versus true pu, human heart versus corporate world. Misdirection nuoi zem tuong ko, vtn, koi kung la vi long nan. Moral test public redemption Thursday long o cho dong nuoi gala, hop bao, hoi dong. Reveal mem lo than fan dong ko that qua mot ben, and hung tran soc re tn. 5 choc emotion arc 2 nia viu ton cam suck that. 2 hop dong ton cam ket. 2 status ton sincerity. Thang deepnin real love begins when the rules end. Zach nan lon koi ne ban muon tua dung full kitch ban cinematic 5.0006.0002 cho, he whispered, don't go, before he even knew her name, Theo dang for va tuan Thursday dung song tu kimo dao chuan YouTube o tren, dung kong? User viet fan 1 bam sat tai lu, content mao 4.txt ko mo dao theo u ka tren, sao kai cta zing he teep ka la he kwe lai voi nan vat chin. 800 token. Kong viet tren canvas. Tra ket qua bang tiang on, fu hop van hoa mai, don 6 du luong mai chy van fong ky thuit viet tra lai ket qua de voiceover doc lam noi dung lean mok cho video YouTube chu kong ko them ghi chu pian tap nu dao dien. Noi dung kong doc viet tat kak tu ma phi viet day du de voiceover ai doc tot doc, twa kong muon nan vat by nam lon, nu trong outline tai pala nam ti ka trian doc viet ra phi bam sat outline. Ni dung ding chuin thun a with circumflex m ton viet ton one don kong song dong va de noi dung trong cap down goak vong. Vi du noi dung chuin thun a with circumflex m ton. Kong tra ra code, JSON, net, PGSQL. TTC vit bang ting anh assistant. Hello everyone, before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new video. It is quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let us return to our main character. Rain poured over the glowing skyline of New York, drumming against the glass of the hotel's rooftop bar. Ethan Cole stood alone under the canopy, his tuxedo jacket soaked at the shoulders, the city's light shimmering on the raindrops clinging to his hair. The CEO of Cole Industries had just lost everything that mattered: his fiancée, who had walked out with a rival investor, and the billion-dollar deal that collapsed because of it. The press called it karma, the board called it weakness. He called it a clean slate. That was when he saw her. A woman in a torn lavender bridesmaid dress stood by the railing, mascara streaked by rain, bouquet crushed in her trembling hands. Her name was Lila Tran, though he did not know it yet. She had just run out of her sister's wedding, the one where her sister had married Lila's ex-boyfriend. The universe, it seemed, loved cruel symmetry. She shivered, staring at the ring she had tried to throw away but could not. When Ethan's voice broke through the storm, it was low, raw, steady. "Marry me," he said. She turned, stunned. "Excuse me?" "Marry me," he repeated, his jaw tight. "Think of it as a contract." Her laugh came out broken. "Are you drunk?" "No. Just tired of pretending I am fine." The rain softened into a mist between them, and for a long second, the world held still. Her eyes searched his face for a trace of irony. There was none. "You do not even know my name," she whispered. He took a slow step closer, the water dripping from his sleeves. "Then tell me later. Right now, I just need someone who has nothing left to lose." Lila hesitated, heart pounding so hard it drowned the rain. Maybe it was the loneliness. Maybe it was fate's twisted humor. But instead of walking away, she said softly, "Fine. But you are buying the ring." His lips curved, not quite a smile but close. "Deal." That single word cut through the rain like a vow neither of them understood yet. Inside, a pianist played something slow and aching, and through the reflection in the window, she saw him standing beside her, tall and distant, as if they were already a pair, two strangers bound by desperation, about to sign a deal that would rewrite both their lives. And when he looked at her again, for a heartbeat too long, the words slipped out before he could stop them. "Do not go." He whispered it like a prayer. He did not know her name, but somehow, in that moment, it already mattered. User ban tu kim tra lai zem de dung gu fap tiang on cho nuoi my doc zem chua? Ko elnb dung theo u ka chua? Ko noi dung han dong now bat hop ly fi tuk ti kong? Assistant toi de ra sot lai ton bo don ban u ka theo ba tu chi one vien gu fap va tunin trong tiang on my don ban nan hon ton chuan gu fap va tunin cho nuoi my, kong ko loi tense, article hain gu fap hoi thoi. Mot so chi ti the hien fong catch my dung chuan video voiceover YouTube su dung ti hien tai don va qua ku don zen hop ly cho narrative cinematic. Kong viet tat du ka, no abbreviations, hon ton tuan Thursday. Tu vong quen thuok, dene cho con gia my kong dung idiom vong UK. Nip ka tunin cho ai voiceover ka trung ben 1018 tu, dun gat hoi. 2v elnb emotional logic narrative believability logic cam suk va hop ly 2 su ton bo dien bien bam dong ka truck tuk ti va hop ly qua motif fake marriage pillar 4 boy can ban son kok san New York trong mua hop ly, cinematic, kong fi tuk ti. Hainan vat gap trong noi diem kung hong riang on by fan boi, ko vua bo che koi lu koi town and logic cho han nan hop dong. Loi de gi marry me think of it as a contract, kong fi ly trong drama context la trope quen thuako my hallmark, Netflix, Lifetime. Kong ko chi tit siu nin, bao luke, hey fi nan van. Kong lek logic cam suk onto it vong tim su dong lo atam noi ko tun thuong chan fan ong bat ngo en hung nuoi zem tin duok elnb dat chuan wa han dong du zut fat tu trang tai tom ly hop ly, kong ep nan vat. 3 Kong ko chi tit han dong fi tuk ti hok bat ka tit rain port hotel rooftop bar thuong thay trong phim mai hop can. Bridesmaid running out from sister's wedding ko that trong xa hoi, kong over drama. CEO lost deal and fiancé, fu hop archetype nan vat. He whispered don't go han dong cam suk, kong 6 fam logic vat ly. Kong ko han 6 bao luke, ky quack, hey loi tho I sai cam suk. Tom ket kim din hang muc dan gia ghi chun gu fap chuan mai, kong loi tense article jong ku cinematic, tuning cho voiceover elnb logic cam suk chat che tuk ti han dong kong fi ly kong viet tat hon ton tuan Thursday ket wan don ban nan de dat chuan 100 cho voiceover tiang on my ban komuan twabian tap li ban nai voi pacing voiceover and gat nip hoi tunin, 35 snip de fu hop kai dung im ton kong? Kong thay doi noi dung, chi du chin nip doc de Thursday im mut han. User viet fan tu bam sat tai lu, content mao 4.txt 800 token. Kong viet tren canvas. Teep noi fan 1, no dong not nan vat va boi can, twin noi john sa cho fu hop. Chy van fong ky thuit viet tra li ket qua de lam noi dung YouTube chu kong fi bien tap nu dao dien. Noi dung kong doc viet tat kak tu ma fi viet day du de voiceover ai doc tot doc, ni dung ding twin thun a with circumflex m ton viet ton 1 don kong song dong va de noi dung trong cap down goak vong. Vi du noi dung twin thun a with circumflex m ton. Kong tra ra code, JSON, net, PGSQL. TTC vit bang ting anh assistant. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving the city washed in silver light. Lila woke in her tiny apartment above a laundromat, her head still spinning from the madness of the night before. She replayed his words again and again. Marry me. Think of it as a contract. She almost laughed at the absurdity. Maybe she had dreamed it. Maybe the rain had made her delirious. But when she opened her purse, the folded business card with the embossed letters Ethan Cole, CEO Cole Industries, stared back at her. It was real. Every piece of it. At the same hour across town, Ethan sat in his penthouse office, the skyline stretching behind him like a wall of glass. His assistant, Laura, was reciting his schedule, but his mind was elsewhere. The board meeting loomed in 2 days, and without a wife to accompany him, his rivals would use his broken engagement to question his stability. His ex-fiancée's betrayal had already made headlines. The investors wanted proof he had moved on, proof he was still the man in control. That was when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. He hesitated, then answered. This is Lila Tran, came the hesitant voice. I thought you were joking last night. I was not, he said quietly. I need someone I can trust to play a role. 3 months, public appearances, nothing more. You will be compensated generously. There was a pause long enough to hear her breath catch. How much? $300,000, he replied. Silence, then a soft exhale. You are serious. Completely. Later that day, they met at a quiet cafe downtown. The city buzzed outside, but inside, time slowed. Ethan wore the same calm expression as before, but his eyes held something a flicker of curiosity, maybe even respect. Lila sat across from him, her hands wrapped around a chipped mug. You want a contract marriage, she said, trying to keep her voice steady. You are a stranger. Why me? He looked down for a moment before answering. Because you did not ask for anything last night. Everyone else in my world always does. Her chest tightened. She had expected arrogance, but instead she found a kind of quiet weariness. Still, she needed to be sure. So this is purely business? Completely, he said again. You will attend 5 events with me. We will live in the same house for the cameras, but you will have your own space. No obligations beyond what the contract states. She stared at the printed papers he slid across the table. Her reflection shimmered faintly on the polished surface, caught between the ink and his watchful gaze. I should probably have a lawyer look at this, she murmured. You can, he said. But I hope you will take my word. Something in his tone, firm, measured, almost gentle, made her believe him, against every instinct she had. She took the pen, her hand trembling. 3 months? 3 months, he confirmed. After that, we part ways. The pen scratched softly on paper. Lila signed her name. The rain outside began again, light and steady, as if the city itself held its breath. When she handed the papers back, Ethan slid a velvet box toward her. Inside was a diamond ring, bright and cold as truth. This is part of the performance, he said. A symbol, nothing more. She slipped it on, feeling its weight settle like a secret. For the first time in a long while, Ethan smiled a small, fleeting curve that almost reached his eyes. Welcome to the contract, Mrs. Cole. She froze at the sound of it. Mrs. Cole. The name felt foreign, too heavy, too soon, yet something in her heart stirred, something she could not name. As they walked out together into the drizzle, photographers would have seen 2 calm faces and assumed love. But neither of them knew that the act they had just begun would become the one thing they could no longer fake. User Viet Fan 3 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 800 token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Tip Noi Fan 2, No Dong Not Nan Vat Va Bio I Can, Twinoi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. Chy Van Phong Ky Thuet Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien. Noi Dung Kong Doc Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doc, Ni Dung Ding Chuin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Chuin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH Assistant. By the end of that week, everything in Lila's life had changed. 1 car ride and 1 signature had carried her from a cramped apartment to a mansion that felt like another universe. The Cole estate stood on the edge of the Hudson, a modern fortress of glass and stone. When the iron gates opened, she felt as if she were being swallowed whole. Inside, the marble floors reflected the morning light and the air smelled faintly of lilies and new paint. Ethan walked beside her, his steps even, his tone strictly professional. Your room is on the 2nd floor, he said. You will find a wardrobe prepared and a schedule of events for the next 3 months. Lila followed him through wide hallways lined with abstract art. Her sneakers squeaked softly on the polished floor. Every sound felt too loud, too real. You really live like this? She asked under her breath. It looks like a museum. He glanced at her, a flicker of amusement breaking through his usual composure. It feels like one most days. When she entered her new room, she stopped. It was twice the size of her old apartment, with tall windows overlooking the river and a king-size bed dressed in white linen. A bouquet of white roses waited on the nightstand with a handwritten note that said, "Welcome." For a moment she just stood there, fingers brushing the velvet curtains, wondering what she had stepped into. That night, she joined Ethan for dinner in a dining room big enough to hold 20 people. The table was long and polished, the food plated like artwork. She barely touched it. You do not have to be nervous, he said calmly. This is just dinner. Dinner with you feels like an interview, she replied before she could stop herself. His eyebrows lifted. Then I hope I pass. The smallest laugh escaped her, quick and genuine. For a few seconds, they both forgot it was a contract. Afterward, the house fell into its quiet rhythm. The staff treated her with polite distance, the press photos were carefully staged, and every day she learned something new about Ethan Cole. He was disciplined, precise, a man who liked his coffee black and his mornings silent. But sometimes, she caught him lingering by the piano in the main hall, staring at a single framed photograph of his parents on their wedding day. It was the only picture in the house that looked lived in. One evening, while a stylist fitted her gown for the upcoming gala, Lila found a folder on her dressing table labeled Public Agreement Cole Industries. Inside were clauses she had never seen, legal jargon about appearances, media statements, and an additional confidentiality clause with her signature copied in digital ink. Her pulse quickened. She confronted Ethan in his office, the city glowing behind him. "Why did you add new terms?" she demanded. He looked up slowly from his laptop. "Because our engagement is now public. The press needed a document for the record. You should have told me." His expression stayed calm, but his voice softened. "You are right. I should have." The admission surprised her more than the documents. He stood, walked around the desk, and handed her a small key. "This is for the studio downstairs," he said. "It used to be my mother's art room. I thought you might want a place to breathe." Lila stared at the key, her anger melting into confusion. "Why are you being kind to me?" "Because you are doing me a favor," he said simply. "And because I remember what it feels like to be trapped." That night, she unlocked the studio. Dust motes floated in the air, and the faint scent of turpentine lingered. Against one wall stood an old piano. She pressed a single key, and the soft note filled the room. For the first time since the contract began, she smiled not as Mrs. Cole, not as the woman pretending but as herself. Upstairs, Ethan paused by the balcony, listening to the faint music echoing through the house. He did not know the song, but it made something inside him loosen, something he had not felt in years. User Viet Fan 4 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 800 token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Teep Noi Fan 3, No Dong Not Nan Vat Va Boi Can, Twinoi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. Chy Van Phong Ky Thut Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien. Noi Dung Kong Doc Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doc Ni Dung Ding Twin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Twin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH assistant days turned into weeks, and slowly the routine of their fabricated marriage began to take shape. Every morning, the staff prepared breakfast at precisely 7 o'clock. Ethan read the news at the far end of the table, while Lila drank her coffee in silence, pretending to check emails that did not exist. They spoke little, but the quiet between them grew softer, less sharp. Their first public appearance came at the Cole Industries Charity Gala, a dazzling event held under crystal chandeliers and watched by half the city's elite. Lila's stylist pinned the final clasp of her silver gown, whispering that she looked like a dream. She did not feel like one. She felt like an actress about to step on stage without knowing her lines. Ethan met her at the base of the grand staircase. In his black tuxedo he looked effortless, every detail perfect, but his eyes gave away a flicker of tension. "You will be fine," he said, his voice lower than the music drifting from the ballroom. "Just stay close to me." Cameras flashed as they entered. Lila forced herself to smile, her arm looped through his. Reporters called their names, guests whispered about the mysterious new Mrs. Cole. At one point, a journalist leaned forward and asked loudly, "Do you ever regret marrying him for money?" The room went silent. Ethan's shoulders stiffened, but before he could respond, Lila did. She smiled, tilting her head slightly. "If he lost everything tomorrow, I would still be here," she said, her voice steady. "Because the contract has not expired yet." Laughter rippled through the crowd. Ethan glanced at her, something warm flickering behind his composed mask. That moment went viral the next morning, and the press called her witty, charming, authentic. For the first time, Ethan's company's stock rose not because of a product launch, but because of her words. The next week was a blur of photo shoots, interviews, and long car rides where silence hung between them like a fragile truce. Yet one night, after a charity event, Lila found Ethan sitting alone in the darkened living room, sleeves rolled up, staring at a piano key he had pressed but never played. "You used to play?" she asked quietly. "My mother did," he said. "She taught me one song, but I forgot it." Without thinking, she sat beside him and placed her fingers on the same keys. "Maybe it is still in there," she whispered. Together they played a hesitant melody, uneven but human. When the final note faded, he looked at her differently, not as a business partner, not as a performer, but as someone real. That same night, Lila stood by the balcony, the river shimmering below. For the first time, she felt the weight of her ring not as a prop, but as something strange and personal. Ethan joined her, his voice soft. "You did well tonight," he said. "You saved me again." "It was nothing," she replied. "It was everything," he corrected. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The night air smelled like rain, and the city lights flickered like stars. Then, almost under his breath, he said it again, the same words that had started it all. "Do not go." She turned to him, heart pounding, but he was already looking away, pretending he had never said it. Inside, the clock chimed midnight. They were still strangers under the same roof, bound by paper and pretense, but something unspoken had already begun to rewrite the rules of their contract. Lila returned to her room, sat on the edge of the bed, and whispered to herself, 3 months. But she was no longer sure whether she was counting down or holding on. User Viet Fan 5 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 800 Token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Teep Noi Fan 4, No Dong Not Nan Vat Va Bio I Can, Twinoi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. Chy Van Phong Ky Thuet Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien, Noi Dung Kong Doak Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doak Dot Ni Dung Ding Chuin Thun A With Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Chuin Thun A With Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, .NET, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH Assistant. By the second month, the boundaries of the contract had started to blur. Lila and Ethan were no longer just two strangers sharing space. They had fallen into an unspoken rhythm, something that looked too natural to be rehearsed. Every morning, he waited by the elevator as she came down, coffee in hand. At night, she often found him reading near the fireplace, and somehow their evenings always ended with quiet conversation instead of silence. But as their public image bloomed, pressure began to build inside the company. The board demanded Ethan announce a long-term vision for his marriage, hinting that investors preferred a stable family man over a cold executive. Rumors spread that his ex-fiancée, now a partner at a rival firm, was preparing to expose their arrangement. One afternoon, as Lila adjusted the hem of her gown before another interview, she overheard 2 assistants whispering near the hallway. "It is just for show," one of them said. "Everyone knows she is paid." The words sliced deeper than she expected. That night, when Ethan came home, she confronted him. "They think I am your prop," she said, her voice trembling. "Am I?" He set down his briefcase and studied her face. "You are not," he said quietly. "You never were." "Then why does it feel like it?" she asked, tears pricking her eyes. "Because I cannot tell them the truth," he replied. "Not yet." The tension hung between them, raw and fragile. Later, as rain tapped against the window, she retreated to the art studio, her refuge. She painted for hours until the storm outside softened. Ethan appeared in the doorway, sleeves rolled up, his expression unreadable. "You should rest," he said. "It is late." "I cannot," she whispered. "Painting keeps me from thinking too much." He walked closer, glancing at the half-finished canvas, an image of a woman standing at the edge of a pier, holding a bouquet that the wind was trying to take away. It is beautiful, he said softly. But she looks like she is about to lose something she loves. Maybe she already has, Lila murmured. Ethan hesitated, then reached out to brush a streak of paint from her cheek. The touch was brief but electric. For the first time, neither of them looked away. I do not want to lose this, he said. Whatever this is. Lila's breath caught. You are breaking your own rule, she whispered. No feelings. That was part of the contract. Maybe the contract was wrong, he said. The next evening, they attended a corporate dinner. Everything seemed perfect until Ethan's ex-fiancée, dressed in red, approached their table with a practiced smile. Congratulations on your arrangement, she said sweetly, loud enough for others to hear. It must be exhausting pretending to be in love. Lila froze, her heart pounding, but before she could respond, Ethan stood, his jaw tight. You are right, he said, his voice sharp. It is exhausting pretending anything around people who have forgotten what love looks like. The table fell silent. Cameras clicked. Later, as the car drove them home through the glowing city streets, Lila stared out the window, her heart still racing. You did not have to defend me like that, she said quietly. I wanted to, he replied. You are not a lie, Lila. She turned to look at him. His face was calm, but his hand, resting on the seat beside her, trembled slightly. For the first time, she realized the man beside her, the untouchable CEO, the one who built walls out of glass and iron, was just as human as she was. When they arrived home, he opened her door, and as she stepped out into the soft night air, he whispered once more, do not go. This time, she did not pretend she did not hear him. User Viet Fan 6 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 800 token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Teep Noi Fan 5, No Dong Not Nan Vat Va Bio I Can, Twin Noi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. CHY Van Phong KY Thuet Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien. Noi Dung Kong Doc Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doc Ni Dung Ding Twin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Twin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH assistant. The following week brought a rare calm between them. Ethan had cancelled his travel plans and spent more time at home, claiming it was to manage the growing media attention, but Lila knew better. He lingered near the kitchen when she made coffee, joined her walks in the garden, and sometimes even laughed at her dry humor. The house, once quiet as a museum, began to feel alive again. One night, they sat on the terrace overlooking the river, the city lights reflected in the water like scattered fireflies. Lila told him about her mother's illness, how she had worked 3 jobs to pay for medication that was still not enough. Ethan listened in silence, his expression unreadable. When she finished, he said softly, I can help. She shook her head. That is not why I am here. I know, he said. But I want to. For a moment she saw something vulnerable in his eyes, a kind of sincerity that no money could buy. Thank you, she whispered, but this is something I have to carry myself. He nodded, respecting the boundary she had drawn, and the quiet between them turned warm instead of cold. Later that night, unable to sleep, Lila wandered into the study. Ethan was there, reading an old book with his tie undone and glasses perched on his nose. She paused in the doorway. I did not know you wore glasses, she said. He looked up and smiled faintly. Only when I forget to sleep. She walked closer, hesitating. You should rest. You look tired. So do you, he replied, setting the book aside. But you look beautiful when you are tired. The words slipped out before he could stop them. They both froze, surprised. Then, slowly, the tension broke. She laughed softly. That line would never work in real life. It just did, he said quietly. Their eyes met, and for the first time, there was no contract between them, only 2 people who had both been alone for too long. Before either of them could speak, a distant sound shattered the stillness. Ethan's phone buzzed with urgent messages. He frowned, scrolling through the screen. "What is it?" Lila asked. "An emergency board meeting," he muttered. "Someone leaked our contract to the press." Her blood ran cold. "Leaked? How?" "I do not know," he said, already reaching for his jacket. "But this could destroy everything." Within hours, headlines spread across every platform. Ethan Cole's marriage a hoax, business deal or love scam, the truth behind Mrs. Cole. Paparazzi crowded the gates, and reporters demanded answers. By morning, the company's stock began to fall. Lila sat in the living room, numb, as Ethan faced a dozen phone calls from furious board members. Finally, he turned to her, his voice heavy. "They think you are the one who sold the story." Her eyes widened. "What?" "Ethan, I would never." "I know," he interrupted. "But they need a scapegoat, and you are the easiest target." "Then tell them the truth," she pleaded. "Tell them you made the deal." He shook his head. "If I do, the company collapses. Thousands of jobs would go." "So you would rather let them destroy me," she whispered, her voice breaking. Ethan took a step forward, then stopped, torn between duty and something deeper. "Lila, please, trust me. I will fix this." "You cannot fix a lie with another lie," she said quietly, tears glistening in her eyes. Without another word, she took off the ring and placed it on the table. "I think our contract just expired." She turned toward the door, her heart pounding, and this time when he whispered, "Do not go," she did not look back. User Viet Fan 7 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 600 token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Teep Noi Fan 6, No Dong Not Nan Vat Va Bio I Can, Twinoi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. Chy Van Phong Ky Thuet Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien. Noi Dung Kong Doc Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doc Ni Dung Ding Chuin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Chuin Thun A with Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH Assistant Lila left the Cole mansion before sunrise. The city was still half asleep, wrapped in fog, as her cab rolled past the gates. She did not look back. The cameras were gone now, replaced by silence and shame. Her phone buzzed endlessly, reporters, gossip pages, unknown numbers, but she ignored them all. She rented a small room in an old brick building downtown, the kind of place where no one cared who you were as long as you paid on time. Days blurred into nights as she tried to disappear. Every headline she avoided only seemed to find her again. Gold digger. Actress. Scam wife. Each word chipped away at her until even her reflection looked like a stranger. Meanwhile, Ethan fought his own war. The board demanded his resignation, shareholders pulled out, and his ex-fiancée, Claire, smiled through every televised interview, feigning sympathy while fueling the fire. He should have known better, she told reporters. Love cannot be bought. The words burned through him more than the loss of money ever could. One evening, Laura, his assistant, placed a file on his desk. "You should see this," she said quietly. Inside were email logs, financial transfers, and a signed contract proof that Claire had been the one who leaked the story. Ethan stared at the evidence, a cold rage settling over him. "Get the legal team," he said. "No," Laura interrupted. "Get her first." That night, he confronted Claire at a rooftop bar overlooking the same skyline where his story with Lila had begun. "You wanted revenge," he said. "Now you have it." Claire sipped her drink, unbothered. "You made it easy. You were too busy pretending to be human. You ruined someone who never deserved it," he said sharply. "You do not get to talk about humanity." She smiled. "And yet you still came." Ethan turned and left without another word. Back in his car, he scrolled through old photos of Lila, the gala, the piano, the river terrace. Every image carried the same truth: she had given him more honesty in 3 months than anyone had in his entire life. He picked up the phone and made a single call. "Find her," he said. "No press, no headlines. Just find her." 2 days later, he stood outside the laundromat building where she now lived. Through the window, he saw her sitting by the counter, sketching quietly, her hair tied back, the same calm determination in her face. She looked up, startled, as he entered. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then he said, softly, "I found the real leak." It was her. Lila blinked, disbelief flickering in her eyes. "It does not matter anymore," she said. "It was always going to end like this." "Not like this," Ethan said. "Not with you thinking you were just a mistake." He took a hesitant step closer. "I told you I would fix it. Let me keep that promise." She looked at him, exhausted but still kind. "You cannot undo what they said about me." "Maybe not," he admitted. "But I can tell them who you really are." Outside, the morning light spilled through the glass, painting their faces gold. For the first time since everything fell apart, she did not look away. User Viet Fan 8 Bam Sat Tai Lu, Content Mao 4.txt 600 Token. Kong Viet Tren Canvas. Tip Noi Fan 7, No Dong Not Nan Vat Vabio I Can, Twinoi John Sa Cho Fu Hop. Chy Van Phong Ky Thuet Viet Tra Lai Ket Qua De Lam Noi Dung YouTube Chu Kong Phi Bien Tap Nu Dao Dien. Noi Dung Kong Doc Viet Tat Kak Tu Ma Phi Viet Day Du De Voiceover AI Doc Tot Doc Ni Dung Ding Twin Thun A With Circumflex M Ton Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Song Dong Va De Noi Dung Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du Noi Dung Twin Thun A With Circumflex M Ton. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH Assistant. 2 days later, the world watched as Ethan Cole stepped onto the stage of Coal Industries' annual shareholders meeting. Cameras flashed from every corner, but this time he did not hide behind numbers or strategy. He stood in front of the microphone, the city's skyline gleaming through the glass wall behind him, and took a deep breath. "Before we begin," he said, his voice steady, "there is something I need to make right." The room fell silent. "Months ago, I made a decision that I thought was business. I asked someone to enter my life through a contract, not realizing that she would end up changing everything I believed about trust, kindness, and love. Her name is Lila Tran." A murmur rippled through the audience. Ethan continued, "The rumors were true. The marriage began as an arrangement. But what you have read since then, every lie, every accusation was orchestrated by someone who wanted to destroy what they could not have. The real betrayal came from within this company." He turned the screen behind him, revealing documents, financial statements, leaked communications, and a signed confession from Claire. Gasps echoed across the hall. "Effective immediately," Ethan said, "Claire Myers has been removed from all executive positions, and I have resigned from my own role as CEO. I will not let this company become another machine that trades people for profit. The board will appoint a new leader, someone who values people over power." He stepped away from the podium to stunned silence, cameras capturing every second. The press called it the boldest resignation in corporate history. But for Ethan, it was simply the first honest thing he had done in years. That afternoon, he appeared outside a small community art center downtown. Inside, an exhibition banner hung from the ceiling, "The Art of Truth, a collection by Lila Tran." His heart pounded as he walked through the doors. The walls were filled with photographs, candid, human, imperfect. In the center stood a single framed image, a man and woman on a rainy balcony, his hand reaching for hers. The title read, "Before He Knew My Name." Lila turned when she saw him, surprise and disbelief flashing across her face. "What are you doing here?" she asked quietly. Ethan smiled faintly. "Keeping my promise." He gestured toward the photo. "You made the world see me better than I ever did. Now it is my turn." He pulled a small envelope from his coat and handed it to her. Inside was a check made out to the art center under her name enough to fund it for years. You do not have to do this, she said. I know, he replied. But I want to. It is not repayment. It is respect. For a moment, they stood there, surrounded by her work, the air thick with unspoken things. Then, softly, he said, you once asked me why I chose you. I think I finally know. Because you were never pretending. Lila felt her throat tighten, tears forming at the edges of her eyes. What happens now? She whispered. Ethan smiled gently. Now, we start without contracts. User viet fan 9 ket tuk bam sat tai lu, content mao 4.txt 600 token. Kong viet tren canvas. Tip noi fan 8, no dong not nan vat vabio I can, twin noi john sa cho fu hop. Chy van fong ky thuet viet tra lai ket qua de lam noi dung YouTube chu kong phi bien tap nu dao dien. Noi dung kong doc viet tat kak tu ma phi viet day du de voiceover ai doc tot doc dot ni dung ding twin thun a with circumflex m ton viet ton one don kong song dong va de noi dung trong cap down goak fong. Vi du noi dung twin thun a with circumflex m ton. Kong tra ra code, JSON, .NET, PGSQL. TTC vit bang ting anh assistant. A year later, spring returned to New York with the same soft rain that had once brought them together. The Cole mansion had long been sold, the company had a new name, and Ethan had traded boardrooms for quiet mornings at a riverside apartment filled with art instead of contracts. Lila's exhibition had grown into a movement, her name now associated with truth, resilience, and the kind of honesty that could heal. On the anniversary of her first gallery opening, she prepared a new collection titled Do Not Go, a tribute to moments that refuse to fade. The crowd filled the hall, but she kept glancing at the door, unsure if he would come. She had not seen Ethan in months. He had disappeared after resigning, sending only a short message that said, "Find your light, I will find mine." As the lights dimmed and the guests applauded, a familiar voice came from behind her. You always did prefer the quiet part of the room. She turned, her breath catching. Ethan stood there, older somehow, but calmer, his eyes carrying the same warmth she remembered from that night on the terrace. You made it, she said softly. I would not miss this, he replied. I heard your work is changing lives. She smiled. Not as much as you changed mine. They walked together through the gallery, stopping before one final piece, a simple photograph of two hands reaching across a table, one holding a folded contract, the other offering a sketchbook. The caption beneath read, When the deal ended, the story began. Ethan looked at her, emotion rising behind his calm. You know, I kept something, he said quietly. From his jacket, he pulled a small velvet box. Inside was the same diamond ring, the one that had once symbolized pretense. It started as a contract, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. But this time, there are no terms. Just a question. He knelt, not out of formality but because it felt right. Lila Tran, will you marry me for real this time? The room fell silent around them, the hum of life outside fading until only the sound of her heartbeat remained. Lila's eyes glistened with tears, her smile trembling as she whispered, yes. Applause erupted from the guests, but neither of them heard it. He stood, she fell into his arms, and for the first time, the words "do not go" were no longer a plea, they were a promise. Later that night, after the crowd had gone and the lights dimmed, they stood by the window watching the city glow below. Ethan took her hand and said softly, I used to think success was about control. You taught me it is about surrender. Lila leaned against him, resting her head on his shoulder. And you taught me that love is not something you sign for, it is something you fight for. Outside, the rain began to fall again, washing the glass in silver streaks, just like the night they met. Only this time, they did not run from it. They let it fall, together. User Kim Tra Lai Zem Ton Bo Noi Dung Qua 9 Fan Ko Tin Dong Not Va Lien Ket Mok Trian Trong Kung Mot Ka Trian Kong? Ko Elnb Chua? Ko Noi Dung Han Dong Now Bat Hop Ly Phi Tuk Te Kong? Kim Tra Lai Zem De Dung Gu Fab Tiang On Cho Nuoi My Doc Zem Chua? Assistant rat tot toi de tien han doc so ton bo nine fan qua ka trien, he whispered, don't go, before he even knew her name. Theo cactu chi kim din trien angip vi tin dong not va mok trien story continuity elnb emotional logic and narrative believability tin hop ly han dong realism check chuan gufap va fong catch tiang on my American English grammar tone dui de la ban dan jia chi teet. 1 tnh dong ent lin kt mike truin tone bo 9 fan van han mok trien thong not. Lean mok va logic boy can New York City 2 dem mua ban dao rooftop hotel mansion van song Hudson Art Gallery downtown Quay Lai Mua Swan Koi Kung. Nan Vat Ethan Cole CEO Millionaire Va Lila Tran Freelance Artist Photographer Sut Hien Not Chuan Shuyan Sut, Kong Thay Doi Ten, Nay, Hey Tin Catch. Twin Noi John Tien Trian Twen Tin Ro Rong 1. Gap Din Men Ban Song Mua 2. Kai Hop Dong 3. Chien Den Mansion 4. Gala Thursday Thatch 5. Moi Quan He Fat Trian 6. Ran Nut Scandal Leak 7. Xa Catch Du Tra Su That 8. Song Kai Chuok Loi 9. Ket Tu Con Fuck Va Ket Han That Kong Ko Mouth Wan Timeline, Kong Ko, Jump Cut Hey Tin Teet Bo Quain. Suzat Hien Qua Kak Dao Siu Ring, Contract, Rain, Piano, Photograph Du Plant Payoff Dong Chuan Cinematic Storytelling. 2 elnb emotional logic narrative believability tat ca han 6, loi thoi, va trien bien cam suk du sut fat 2 trang tai tom ly hop ly ethan 2 motco lan long, du keen bang ly tri hop catch song that, you that arc fat trien ko chiu sao. Lila tu nu wei chiu tun thuang van geo ko duok Thursday thatch, roy tu dong len dat tu du va tinu that. Moi kung hong gala, leak, chia te, confession du hop ly va bam theo logic cam suk. Kong, drama vo ko. Kak ko and kok chien bien, do not go, you are not a lie, find your light, do ko tin nan ban, dong tin and redemptive romance, elnb day du mok kam suk logic chow treo dong cho, ha kam suk dong luke, 3 tnhhpl hinang realism check kong ko chi teet fi tuk ti hoke, soap opera, ku, fake marriage, duok thiat lap ro rang bang hop dong 3 thing, hop ly trong gukan kin don. Scandal leak va how quatrian thung hon ton ko that trong doi song co mai han dong resign publicly va open art gallery mang tin bu tuong and hung van hop ly trong xa hoi hien dai. Kong ko han 6 bao luke, siunin, hoke 6 fam dao duk, ket tu koi that sao 1 nam loi john hop ly den en vat truong ton. Han dong tuk ti, ko kam suk and hong kong phi ly. For ng fate va with grave fong cheating anhm toi kim tra ton bo 9 fan gufap kong loi tense, article, hey ka romare. Zhong van hon ton American English su dong don 6 du luong, chinta color, honor, nip van tunin cho voiceover. Ka truck ka zen nip dangan hop ly 1020 to cow, de doc cho ai voiceover, kong viet tat ur, do not, cannot. Ngudu cinematic and hungon gui, jiao kam suk. Dong Ton Kutrian romantic drama for American audience. Dapung Chuan native level readability, ko the Thursday voiceover truck Teep Ma Kong can bien tap them. KT Lun Kim Nh Heng Muc Dan Jia Ghi Chu Ka Truck Timeline Hon Chin, Kong Lo Hong Nan Vat Motif Dong Not Shuyan Sudi LNB Logic Cam Suk Ro Rang, Ko Redemption Han Dong Tuk Ti Hop Ly, Kong Phi Tuk Ti Ngafap Tiang on My Chuan Tuet Doi, voiceover ready Van Fong cinematic mute. Mu Hinan, Tunin Ket Luan Koi Ton Bo 9 Fan Qua, he whispered, don't go, before he even knew her name, Dat Chuan Hon Chin Cho Mot Cinematic Millionaire Romance Story. Katrian Ko Nip Kam Suk Tunin, Kong Mao Thuan, Kong Loin Gufap, Va Mang De Du to Plant Payoff Redemption Love Justice Dong Tin Than, Fake Real, Trong Tai Lu Gok Content Mao 4.txt. Nu Ban Muon, Tua Ko the Tao Ban Tong Hop Final Script Lean Mok Chian 29 Fan Ton Mot Dong Kuchuan Voiceover 40 Foot Ma Van Ju Nip Tho I 2 Nin Ban Ko Muon Tua Lam Byuk Du Kutip Kong? User Viet Cho Tua Mo Ta Chuan Seo Voi Ton Bo by Viet Vua Viet Tren Va Zat Hien Dung 5 Lon Tu Qua Chin Millionaire Stories, Trong Mo Ta. Kong Ko Gioi Thu De La 9 Fan. Van Teep Tuc Viet Bang Tiang On. Ni dung ding chuan thun a with circumflex m ton viet ton 1 don kong song dong va de noi dung trong cap down goak vong, vi du noi dung chuan thun a with circumflex m ton. Kong tra ra code, JSON, BNet, PGSQL 27. Ni dung viet ton 1 don kong song dong va de noi dung trong cap down goak vong. Vi du noi dung tiu. Kong tra ra code, JSON, .NET, PGSQL. TTC Vit Bang Ting ANH assistant in this cinematic love drama set against the glittering skyline of New York City, a powerful CEO and a struggling artist are brought together by fate, lies, and redemption. What begins as a contract marriage slowly transforms into an unforgettable journey of truth and emotional healing. This story captures the very essence of millionaire stories where wealth meets vulnerability, and where human kindness outshines status. Through heartbreak, scandal, and forgiveness, it reminds us that even the richest hearts can feel empty until they learn to love without conditions. If you are drawn to romantic millionaire stories that explore integrity, trust, and redemption, this one will stay with you long after it ends. Experience the cinematic beauty of two souls discovering what real love means beyond luxury, beyond image, beyond control. For those who crave deeply emotional millionaire stories with timeless moral lessons, this narrative delivers a perfect balance of passion and purpose. It stands among the finest millionaire stories ever told, authentic, heartfelt, and transformative. User Twa Muon Tao 12 Hin on Kio Nu Gioi Thu En Han Vi Noi Dung Tu De Chu De Kich Ban 9 Fan Qua Chung Ta De Viet. Hey Viet Cho Twa Outline V6 Can, Yu Ka On So 1 Va Tu La Mo Ta Kan Lin Quan Den Vi Dao Qua Tu Da, On So 3 Va For La Kan Gioi Thu Nu Chin Dang Lam Vik Trong Kuok Song Hung Gay, Kan So 5 Va 6 La Kan Gioi Thu Nam Chin Dang Lam Vik Trong Kuok Song Hung Gay. On So 7 Va 8 Ko Su Sut Hien Chung Qua Tu Nuoi, on 910-1112 Con Lai Ban Tui Chan Fu Hop Theo Kich Ban. Lam Sa De 12 on Gep Lai Ton Chui Hin on Gioi Thu En Han Vi Tu De Nu Gioi Thu Bo Phim and Hong Kong Doak Lo Tsai Ket. On La Kin Quay Nu Phim, Kong Caption, Kong Tu Da. Hey Viet Outline Chi Ti Cho Tung Nan Vat. Assistant Rat Tot Ban Dang Yu Ka Outline 12 Kan Cinematic De San Zut Ton Chui on Teaser Gioi Thu En Han Bo Phim, he whispered, don't go, before he even knew her name. Chui on Nai Si Jong Poster Storyboards Ko Tin Dian On, Thong Not Mood Tone, and Hong Kong Teet Lo Ket Tu, Dui De La Outline Chi Teet, Juk Designer Hoke AI Image Generator Dung Tung Kung Hin Chin Zak, Thong Not On Sang Kam Suk Fook Trang Kong John. 12-shot cinematic outline on 1 Rain on the Balcony, opening tension V Dao Tu De Boy Can Rooftop Bar New York Luke Dem, Mua Lan, on Den Vang Fan Chiu Kwa Kin. Nan Vat Ethan Cole Nam Chin, Mac Tuxedo, Dung Mot Min Nin Soang Ton Fo, Take MLY Whiskey. Mood Ko Doc, Lan, Introspective. Mua Roy Engying Tao on Sang Dian On. Ton Mao Zan Xam Lan, on Sang Vang Yu. Goyamo Su Ko Don Kwa Nuoi Dan Ong Truok Din Men. On 2, The Girl in the Rain V Sao Tu Da before he even knew her name Boy Can Gok Doi Dien, Kung Rooftop Bar. Nan Vat Lila Tran, Trong Vei Bridesmaid Lavender Ratch, Takem Bua Hoa Hio, Mascara Novi Mua, Mood Tun Thuong, Hong Mang, and Hung Van Koan Nin Man Mi. On Sang On Den Neon Fan Chiu Kwa Mua, Hoi Moao. On Nai Va on 1 Tao Ton Cap Meeting in the Rain, Din Men Bat Dao. On 3 Morning Reality Gioi Thu Nu Chin Trong Kuok Song Thuong Gay Boy Can Ho No Tren Tang 3 Kufo Siu, Sang Som, on Nong Chiu Kwa Rem. Nan Vat Lila Macau Somi Oversize, Tok Bui, Dang Rua Ko Vi, Can Bon De Hoa Don. Mood Ben Di, Hoi Met Moi and Hung Yugi Luke, Chi Teet Dao Siu Sketchbook, Tach Safi Nuoi, To Hoa Don YTE. On 4 Life Between Jobs Nu Chin Trong The Gioi That Boy Can Studio on No, on Sang Den Roy, Vi Buck on Trang Den Trio Tuong. Nan Vat Lila Chup on Cho Kok, Net Mat Tap Trung and Hung Trong on Mat Ko Noi Buon. Ton Tong Naam Mang Kam Jiak Chon That, John D. Hi on 34 Kok Hoa, Her Real Life Before the Contract. On 5 The Corporate Cage Gioi Thu Nam Chin Boy Can Fong Hop Tang Chow, View Tone Manhattan, on Sanglan Tu Mon Hin LED. Nan Vat Ethan Cole, Vest Den, Dang Nin Bang Ko Phu, on Mat Tram Mac, Mood Song Tang, AP Luke, Gwyn Luke Va Ko Don. Chi Teet Dao Siu Logo, Coal Industries, Gi Trong Ben Can, Mon Hin Hien Ti Ko Phu Jiam. On 6, Behind the Image, Nam Chin Trong Koen Kok Ka Nan Boy Can Penthouse V Dem, on Den Ton Fo Fin Chiu Kwa Kin. Nan Vat Ethan Goy Mot Min Truok K Piano Siu, Sa Vat Tao, Nin Soang Phim Dan Chuabam. Mood Vulnerable Goy Kem Jiak Trong Rong Ben Trong Nuoi Dan Ong Ton Da. Hi on 56 The Hien, His World Before Meeting Her. On 7, the contract proposal, Lon Cham Dao Din Men Boy Kan Kung Rooftop Dem Mua, Nan Vat Ethan Chia Te, Lila Nin Line Gak Min. Ca Hayut Mua, On Sang City Glow Fan Chiu. Mood Drama Song and Hung Quan Hut. Dao Siu Cheek Nan Trong Te On. On Icon Qua series, the Hien line, Marry Me. Think of it as a contract. On 8, the contract signed, Jiao Kio Duok Zak Lap Boy Kan Chuan Cafe Sang Ham Sao, On Sang Vang Am, Bon Go, Ji Hop Dong Va But Mai. Nan Vat Ethan Va Lilan Goi Doi Dien, Kong Cham Mat, and Hung Take On Cham Now Tren Bon. Mood Calm Tension Mot Cohen Kok Quiet Din So Fan. Chi Teet Tach Sa Fi, Hop Dong Ghi 10 Ho Mo. On 9, Becoming Mrs. Cole, Transformation Montage Boy Kan Fong Thursday Du Sang Trong, Lila Dong Truoc Guang Trong Vei De Hoi, Stylist Sai Hoa Tai. Phia Sao Ethan Trong Vest, Nin Qua Guang, On Mat Fa Juat Song Vik Va Cam Suk, Mood Transformation Nui Ben Thuong Byuk Pheo The Gioi Thuong Lu. On 10, Under the Spotlight, Public Test Gala Night Boy Kan San Gala, On Den Flash Ruk Sang, Fong Vien Va Kok VIP Bao Quan. Nan Vat Lila Mim Koi Tu Tin Ben Ethan. On Anging Dao Nin Ko, Tu Hao. Mood Power Connection Hai Nui Dong Kung Now Jua The Gioi Jia Tao. On 11, The Distance, Falling Apart Boy Kan Fong Kok Mansion Dem Kuya, On Sang Lan. Nan Vat Lila Dung Gon Qua, Take Him Valley, Con Ethan Dung Xa Phia Sao, Bong Du Dai. Mood Emotional Rupture Koang Catch That Jua Ho. On Sang On Vang Tu Den, Tuong Fan Voi Nin Zan Qua Dem Mua, On 12, The Art of Truth, Hint V Redemption in Hong Kong Spoil Ending Boy Kan Gallery Trong, Bui Sang Som, On Sang Trang Roi Qua Qua So. Nan Vat Lila Dung Jua Kung On Trio Tuong, Nin Buk Hin, Before He Knew My Name. Mood Hopeful Redemptive On Sang Chiu Len Guang Mat Ko. Tone Mao Trang Bac Gold Nay, The Hien Closure Ma Kong Teet Lo Ket Cuc Tin Cam. Tong The Concept Mood Arc Rain Melancholy Gold Luxury Blue Distance White Healing. Visual Tone Cinematic Drama, On Sang Mem, Gok Quay Nu Phim My Hien Dai Netflix Style. Kong Teet Lo Ending and Hung Goi Aro Journey, Fake Real. Nan Vat Dong Not Ethan CEO, Lan M Dan, Lila Artist, Udui Man Me. Ban Ko Muon Toi Viet Lo On Prompt Chi Teet Cho Tung On Ready Dong Cho AI Image Generator New Midjourney Hoke Dal Dua Tren Outline Nai Kong, Prompt Du Se Bam Dung Dian On My On Sang Tai Le Kung Hin Tone Mao. User Dao Tien Viet Cho Toi 1 Prompt De Tao On Nan Vat Nam Chin Mang Trang Phuc Phu Hop Theo Kich Ban, Kong Kan Noi 10 Nan Vat Trong Prompt, Kong Noi 2 Minor. Nan Vat Nai Duok Dan So Thursday 2 La 1 De Lam So Mak Din Cho Su Zut Hien Trong Kan Prompt Sao Nai. Tua Muon Kuon Mat Chuan Nui Mai Va On Sang Du Tren Ca Kuon Mat. Prompt Tao Hin Wan and Vat Phi Ko De Du Chi Teet Va Mo Ta 280 Den 102 Tiang Viet, Fong Catch Cinemar, Kong Koe I Kok Trong Kung Hin Nguai Nam Chin. Moi Prompt Viet Ton Wan Don Kong Soang Dong Va De Noi Dung Prompt Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du 1, Noi Dung Prompt. Kong Tra Ra Code, JSON, Net, PGSQL, Luai Prompt Viet Bang Tiang Viet Assistant 1, Mot Nui Dan Ong Mai Koang Dao Bie Mui, Kuon Mat Gok Kan, On Mat Sao Va Ben Tin, Mac Vest Den Kat Mei Hon Hao Kung Ao So Mi Trang Mo Hai Nut Ko, Kong Deot Sa Vat. On Dong Trong Kung Hin Cinematic Voi On Sang Du Fu Tren Guang Mat, Fong Nin Mo La Kung Qua Kin Nin Ra Ton Fo New York Bandem. On Sang Fan Chiu Tu Kak Toa Na Chow Tang Tao Du Sang Tu Nin, Lam Noi Bat Vi Lan Lung Va Diem Tin Quan. Fong Catch On Mang Tong Mao Dian On Hien Dai, Du Tuong Fan Mem, Saknet Va Sang Trong. User Dao Tien Viet Cho Toi 1 Prompt De Tao On Nan Vat Nu Chin Mang Trang Phuc Phu Hop Theo Kich Ban, Kong Kan Noi 10 Nan Vat Trong Prompt, Kong Noi 2 Minor. Nan Vat Nai Duok Dan So Thursday 2 La 2 De Lam So Mak Din Cho Su Zut Hien Trong Kan Prompt Sao Nai. Tua Muon Kuon Mat Chuan Mai Gok Va On Sang Du Tren Ca Kuon Mat. Prompt Tao Hin Wan and Vat Phi Ko De Du Chi Teet Va Mo Ta 280 Den 102 Tiang Viet, Fong Catch Cinemar, Kong Koe I Kok Trong Kung Hin Nguai Nu Chin. Moi Prompt Viet Ton 1 Don Kong Soang Dong Va De Noi Dung Prompt Trong Cap Down Goak Vong. Vi Du 1, Noi Dung Prompt. Kong tra ra code, JSON, net, PGSQL, Luai prompt viet bang tiang viet assistant 2, mot fu nu mai koang koi hai muoi, kuan mat ton thot voi on mat dio and hung kien din, lon de sang tu nin, tok na dai hoi zon byong name gang vi. Komak vei satin mao lavender not om dong tin ti, koak niguayao cardigan mong mao bi, fong catch john di ma na si. On sang mem va du chiu tren ton bo guang mat, tau huang map va chan tu. How can la kung qua so voi on sang ban mai chiu qua rem, kong kai nain hang, mang tong mao dian on am, goi kim jiak vo man mi. User OK, viet teep 1 prompt de tau nh thumbnail theo tu de qua noi dung. U ka viet prompt theo dung format prompt la de so Thursday 2 prompt va noi dung trong kung 1 cap down goak vong, sao du noi vo dao va viet so qua character zut hien trong can. 6 du trong prompt 1 ko su zut hien quan en vat na ma o tren min viet prompt nan vat nam la so 1 ti trong prompt de so 1 phia sao va trong cap down goak vong, ko tu nan vat hey 3 hey 4. Viet prompt moi kan toi de 3 nan vat va toi thu 1 nan vat ti du de trong cap down goak vong cho min, 6 du 1, 3, 4. Vi du prompt dung chuan theo u ka qua min nu sao 1, noi dung prompt 1, 3, 4. Viet ben thuang kong JSON, kong code, kong sui gi lao, kong PSSQL, kong hoi them, luai prompt viet bang tiang viet assistant 3, mot kan cinematic lay cam hung tu fim tin cam mai, boi kan la rooftop bar jua dem mua neo New York. On den vang va city light fan chiu tren mat nuok mua, nam chin mac vest den lich lam dang chia te vi fia nu chin, komak ve lavender yit mua, my talk roine, on mat vuan gaknin vua rung dong. On sang mem, fu du tren kuan mat ca hai, lam noi bat koan kok de cam suk jua ton fo ruk sang fia sao. Fong catch dian on chan tuk, sang trong, tuong fan vua phi, tong mao lan fa vang nay. 1. 2 user OK, viet teep 8 prompt de tau nh1 den 8 theo outline 9 fan kong de load psychet. U ka viet moi prompt theo dung format prompt la de so Thursday 2 prompt va noi dung trong kung 1 cap down goak vong, sao du noi vo dao va viet so qua character zut hien trong can. 6 du trong prompt 1 ko su zut hien quan en vat na ma o tren min viet prompt nan vat nam la so 1 ti trong prompt de so 1 phia sao va trong cap down goak vong, ko tu nan vat hey 3 hey 4. Viet prompt moi kan toi de 3 nan vat va toi thu 1 nan vat ti du de trong cap down goak vong cho min, 6 du 1, 3, 4. Vi du prompt dung chuan theo u ka qua min nu sao 1, noi dung prompt 1, 3, 4. Viet ben thuang kong JSON, kong code, kong sui gi lao, kong PSSQL, kong hoi them, luai prompt viet bang tiang viet, moi prompt viet at not 60 den 82 assistant 4, condemn tren rooftop bar New York, Troy mua roine, on sang neon fan chiu qua mat noak. Nam chin mac vest den yut mua, dung mot min nin song ton fo, on mat trambuon fa chut ko don. Kong kai lan, hoi noak mo tau huang dian on. On sang du tren guang mat, lam noi bat then tai nuoi dan ong ton dat and hung mat. Tong mao zan xam va vang not hoa gwin, mang cam jiak u buon sang trong. 1-5, gok doi dian rooftop, nu chin trong vei bridesmaid mao lavender by mua lam yut, take him bua hoa are you? Ko dung duyon den vang uot, on mat hong mang zan chut ton thuong. Phia sao la skyline New York moao, and hung jiat mua fan chiu on sang nu fa lu. Kong kai vua lang man vua by thuong, fong catch cinematic, on sang fu du, goi kung kan din men. 2-6, sang hom sao, kan ho no qua nu chin, on nong chiu qua rem qua, komak ao somi trang rong, ngoi ben bon de hoa don va kok safi nuoi, dang nin veo tam hin chup on dang du. On sang tu nin, na viam, fong nin la gia vi va and hung buck on trang den. Tong mao vang im fa bi, the hien kuok song ben di, ko dok and hung ko noi luke, 2-7, fong hop tang chow coal industries, on sang zan tu mon hin led fan chiu tren guang mat nam chin. On mac vest chin chu, dung mot min nin bang ko fu jiam, te dat trong toi quan. Kong john hien dai, lan leo, fong nin la kin ton kan ton fo. Tong mouth ep zan lam on bac tau kim jiak gwin luke ko lap, the hien suc nong qua nuoi lan dao. 1-8, chuan cafe bui sang, on sang vangam, bon go no jua kong john yen tin. Nam chin va nu chin goi doi dien, tren bon la to hop dong va but mai. Ca hai tran nin now and hung koang catch te rat gon, on sang fu du lam noi bat bu cam song tang ma sao lang. Tong mao am, chi tit hoi swang tren qua kin goi kem jiak din men sap doak ky ket. 129, Ben Trong beat Thursday Ven Song, Fong Kok Rong, on sang mem roi tu qua so chow. Nu chin mak dam don john, dong jua kan fong, nin quan voi vi boi roi. Phia xa la ka tang zon bango, tuong trung cho the guem wa ko vua byuk veo. Tong mao trang bxambac, on sang tunin fu du, goi kem jiak xa hoa va ko dok hoa gwin, 210, kan de teet gala long lay, on den vang kim fan chiu len son bong long. Nam chin mak tuxedo den, nu chin trong vei bac on kim, ca hai byuk song bac tang jua tiang flash my on. On sang ruk ro and hung kan bang, kuan mat hai nui ro net, then tai ben tin, goi kem jiak jia vo hon how truoct song chung. 1-11, Fong Tran Toi, on sang trang roi veo buck on trio tuong. Nu chin dong truoc buck hin, before he knew my name, on mat sao va yen tin, guang mat sang ro trong on den. Kong John Sung Quan Toi, Fong Nan La Tuong Bi Tong No Mo, Goi Kim Jiak Tim Lai Su That. Tong Mao Trang Bac, On Sang Kan Bang, Fong Catch Cinematic Hien Dai, Kong Teet Lo Ket Cuc, 2.